Hello, my friends, my beautiful, wealthy nation. You might notice something is different here. We got a new microphone. Camera's over there. It's not over there. That's it. That's all that's different. Same old, same old. We're going to be talking about neoliberalism some more, neoliberal hegemony, a whole heck of a lot. And I wanted to sort of address why, what's so important about neoliberalism that I keep making all these videos that I sound kind of like a broken record. Neoliberalism sits at the heart of everything that's wrong, that's bad in the world right now. That's why I think it's so important to just identify that sort of that common denominator across everything, across climate change issues with wildfires that are happening everywhere in Australia and in California, the way that the United States responds to the peaceful Black Lives Matter protests, the way that India is responding to the farmers' protests. It's everywhere. It's the way that we are becoming estranged from our neighbors. We all wake up, we get in our car, we go to work for 8 hours. Even if we have a hobby, we have to find a way to monetize that hobby and turn the hobby into a side hustle. All of that is neoliberalism, and it's killing us physically and mentally. It's killing us. So that's why I have all of these videos about neoliberalism, is to get at the heart of that. We want to figure out how did this come to be, because things haven't always been this way. So how did things come to be this way? Where do we stand right now? What hope do we have for changing things? A lot of times when I talk to people about neoliberalism, they seem like, well, what can we do? That's just how stuff works. Stuff costs money. We go to a job to make money to buy stuff. That's just how stuff works. So what can we do about it? So a little bit of the history, how we got here, where we stand today, and what it means for us, and why neoliberalism is so bad. From an abstract point of view, it seems like that's just life. But when you really get down to it, how does neoliberalism affect us in practical sense? We'll talk about that in the next video. And then finally, what we want to do is establish a politics of hope. We want to talk about where can we go from here? How can we leave neoliberalism behind, and how can we envision a better future for ourselves moving forward, for everybody moving forward? So that's what we want to do, and that's why we talk about neoliberalism so much, is because it's central to everything else. It's not a waste of time. It's absolutely necessary to talk about Democrats versus Republicans trying to win the presidency, or it's a lot. Sometimes it's distracting too in terms of climate change denial. It's not even worth having that conversation. And so there are things where we can spend our time and energy so focused on one single conversation around what's the worst atrocity happening in the world. We live in this era where we all have to out-woke each other. You know, if you wanted to talk about the Chinese government interning Uyghur Muslims, you can do that, but in your comments feed you're going to have all these people saying, well, what about this other atrocity that you ignored about? Don't be selective in your activism. But it's like there's so much going on there. We have to be. We can only think about so much at any given time. So it's about unifying all of these different struggles, about bringing together these conversations so that we can actually have a productive path forward. We're not just putting out one fire after another. We're actually working towards something collectively. So that's a little bit why we're talking about neoliberalism so much, because we're just getting started with it. Also experimenting with this brand new setup. Hopefully sounds good, looks good. Stay tuned, Wealthy Nation. Love ya.